Hi everyone, Shari from Shari's Low Carb Kitchen and Reif Natural. I am doing a Wellness Wednesday interview with a dear friend of mine, Laura, who is a mother and grandmother of a large family. And she has agreed to come on and give us an idea of how the low carb life has helped her and what she's doing and how she's incorporating it to her family. So let me see if I can bring her on. I'm trying to get let's see. Nope, not that. Okay, bear with me. Here we go. Give me a second. I'm going to move more in the shade because I am getting a glare on my phone screen. So I don't know if y'all are getting that glare too. Hopefully not, but I'm not very good with this technology stuff, but I'm trying. Oh, there's Laura. Okay. So, what? Okay, let me on and good. It's adding her and hi Laura.
Hi Shari, how are you?
Okay. Good. How are you doing?
Doing well.
Wonderful. Okay. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure that I know I said this to public, so we're good. All right. So, well, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
Are you getting a glare from my phone, or can you see me okay?
I can see you, but you're kind of fuzzy, but I know you're there.
I'm like, do I get more in the sun or not? And because I don't have I can't figure out how to do an interview on my computer, so the phone has to do for now. But I don't know. Maybe it's just because my screen is so clean that it's reflecting on me. So that could be. So Laura, I gave a brief introduction of you, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, about your family?
Well, I totally missed the introduction. So
That's
let's
okay.
see, I'm a mother. I have 3 grandchildren. I'm a stay-at-home mom. For a lot of years, I stayed a stay-at-home mom. Um, I'm not sure what else to say about myself. I don't know.
Okay.
Mostly that's.
Okay. How did you hear about the low carb life, and what made you decide to try it?
Well, I've been watching you, Shari, how you've been losing weight and more energy, and we've been trying to eat healthier. Just I don't think we're making the right choices in the food that we're trying to use, because some foods don't always work to keep you fuller than others.
Right.
So it seemed like they were snacking a lot. So we're trying to get a handle on not snacking so much and being more satisfied when we eat. So I was watching
Good.
what you were doing and following your suggestions, some of them.
Okay. Great. Well, thank you. That makes me feel honored, and I'm glad that some of that is helping because that's my goal. That's why I do all this. So you said you weren't feeling satisfied before with the food choices that you were making. What was a typical eating day like for you? I mean, you get up, and I know your husband works second shift, so your big meal is the lunch. But how would your day typically go before adopting this lifestyle?
Well, we ate breakfast whenever we wanted, and typically the kids ate um, whatever they wanted for breakfast, because I didn't want to have to make 3 meals a day
Sure.
for people. So they just kind of did toast and eggs or toast or whatever they wanted to eat. And
Mm-hmm.
then I did mostly made a plan for when we could have a big meal for when my husband was home, and then we had a lesser meal, something that he didn't care for when he was gone. A lot of times it was macaroni and cheese or something quick that was, with kids running around, it was something that I didn't want to have to stay in the kitchen all day. But it
Sure.
was easier after we decided to follow a menu that, the kids know that there's something there for them to eat, and I still make a meal for them, but or 2 meals, but they're still on their own for breakfast, and that's where they sometimes they bring in the Neo Life shakes if they want them, or
Okay.
you know, just something light that I don't have to cook too much for them.
Okay. Good. Now what is a typical eating day for you? Just like the breakfast, the kids are on their own, and then you have your lunch and dinner, or has that changed a
But
bit?
it has. They're still on their own for breakfast, but they're learning how to make eggs. They use heavy whipping cream in their eggs quite often. They like scrambled eggs with heavy whipping cream.
Those are good.
I many and more. I plan more for 2 meals instead of just one meal, because when the kids they go to public school, I would cook one meal and then they would have the leftovers for supper. Now that it's summer, I cook 2 meals as much as I can. I do a lot of home
Yep.
cooking.
Okay.
We notice that we feel better by the way we're eating by adding, healthier fats into our diet. Where we feel better. We're not so prone to snack throughout the day,
Good.
which is a good.
That's a very good thing. Now, we did in our group, and you're part of the Sherry's Low Carb Kitchen group. We did the 2-week Diet Doctor challenge to kind of help everyone get their feet wet. And you were one of the people that did that with us. How did you like that? What did you think about that?
I like that. I liked having an idea of what you can eat, and the menus that were there. The food was really delicious, which I think surprised everyone in our family. Because when we said low carb, they're like, "Oh my gosh, what is mom going to feed us?" But they're
Right.
actually, they're liking the meals that we're making, and they pick out. I have them pick out a meal every week that they can contribute to the menu.
That's
So
a great
and then
idea.
I try and stick to the menu. I try not to go off of that too much.
Mhm.
There's got to be sometimes there's things that come up that you can't always follow your
Right.
menu, but there's got to be a backup plan for eating. You got to have, like you said, meal options, and if you have a list of them, that gives them that, oh, we don't have to have the same thing over and over again. So I
Right.
really
So
like the challenge.
good. And you're finding that because a lot of times I hear people, they're, the one of the complaints is that they feel like they're eating the same thing over and over again. But you're not, it doesn't sound like that you or your family is feeling, you feel like there's enough variety with the things that you can eat. Is that right?
Oh, plenty of variety. There's always how many different websites that give you low carb options. I don't even think I've looked at a cookbook for years, although I'd like to look at a cookbook. But I
Right.
appreciate some of them that have pictures, so you know what they look like, they're supposed to look like. And we've tried some different things that not everybody likes, but if they're hungry, they'll eat it.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Exactly. So, I have seen you post a lot of pictures. You're actually getting your kids involved in making some of the things, and you've made some cookies and some breads, and it seems like the kids are kind of enjoying that and liking that. Do you think they're feeling better too, eating this way? Do you think they
Oh,
notice?
I think they are. Even my picky eaters that don't particularly care for vegetables, they're actually eating the dishes that are made. And the ones that I try and encourage them, they've had birthdays, so I'm like, let's look for a low carb recipe. One child decided she wanted blueberry muffins for her birthday cake instead of a birthday cake, and one child decided that she was going to make a regular birthday cake, and we found a low carb birthday cake, and she took one to her boss, and her boss was like, wow, what's different about this cake? It tastes so good, and I don't have that headache, and I don't feel like my stomach hurts. And she said, yeah, my mom made me find a low carb cake and
Huh,
frosting recipe. It turned out really good.
that's awesome. And it was really gorgeous too. I saw the pictures of it and it was, I think that's really cool how you're incorporating the family. And I know at first your husband wasn't really necessarily on board. But after seeing some of your posts, it seems like he's kind of shifted a little. So how is he adopting to this whole lifestyle?
Well, I think he feels better because he takes sandwiches to work, that because it's simple, something
Mm-hmm.
simple. So he says, can you find a bread that I can use for low carb? Because he must notice that the bread that he's been using doesn't make him feel good. Even though we did whole wheat bread, it probably wasn't the best choice out there. But since feeding a large family, sometimes you have to cut corners. But now I've been making like the
Mm-hmm.
cloud bread for him, and he likes it. He wants me to make it more. We stopped buying lunch meat, which was something that he always had all the time, lunch meat sandwiches. So we just like grill up chicken, and
Yep.
I, make put on the cloud bread, and then he likes it. And he actually said he was hungry for some treats. So he said, "What can I make that's low carb?" And I'm like, "Well, how about low carb peanut butter cookies? They're great. They only make like a dozen cookies, so you can't overeat. You can't eat, like
Right.
in a sitting, you can't eat a whole dozen cookies if you want, because you get full on them. And they turned out really well. So
Yep.
he's noticing that we feel better, that it's a better option for us.
That's awesome. And then obviously let's see. So I'm just making sure I'm going over my questions so I don't forget anything. And then you're still incorporating your Neolife with this, because every diet you need to supplement the gaps, and that's still going well. Have
Exactly.
you made any changes there, or that's kind of staying the same, but you're just feeling better overall because of the new lifestyle and the Neolife?
I think a combination is really making us feel good. We like the Neolife products, and we notice when we can't have them due to being able to afford certain things, but it balances out. So we are able to buy the Neolife products and do the low carb, high healthy fat cooking as well. So
Good.
I notice that we don't use as much shakes as we used to.
Right. Yep. That the same with our family, though it's nice to have them on hand and just kind of fatten them up if you're needing, like if I'm running some people everywhere and I know I'm just going to need a lunch, I can do a full fat shake and be okay. And then not be hungry, you know, for a
Exactly.
snack later. So that's good. So obviously having a large family, because we have a large family too, I'm assuming that you operate on a budget, or do you have a money tree in your backyard somewhere? Yeah. Yes, you have a money tree?
Well, I haven't found it yet. If we do, if we do, I haven't found it.
I,
So yeah,
so
we
you're
operate on a
you're
budget. Like I said,
and then how do you think, how is your budget working incorporating this new lifestyle? Is it still, doing good?
but I think
You're kind of just
buying less of what we.
a little bit warbly. I'm trying to see if it's my connection. All right, there we go.
Oh,
We're back. So why don't you start the budget portion over? It just the connection got goofy.
right. We try to stick to the list. We go through the menus and we write down what we need. And at first we thought it was kind of expensive because there's things like what's the husk that I
The
can't
psyllium
remember
husk.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Psyllium
can
husk powder.
remember that. Right. So that kind of scared us. Like, oh my gosh, we're gonna invest $12 or $8 in this something that we're gonna use once in a while. I guess it didn't register that we're gonna use it once in a while, not
Mm-hmm.
for every meal that we use. Same with a lot of the stuff.
Right.
We don't use. Like I still have the same bag of monk fruit in the cupboard that I first bought,
Yep.
and which is amazing because before this we'd buy white sugar all the time, even though people say it's not good. And I'm thinking, well, we're not really using that much of it, but we must have been because it was on our grocery list all the time. Now it's the same, like the monk fruit that was a one-time purchase so far. Same with the psyllium husk. That's a one-time purchase. So it seems like it's expensive out front, but it evens out where we don't, like not. I don't think we're going over food budget when we
Good.
with the low carb eating.
Yeah, and that is good to hear. If you had any suggestions for families with children, larger families, um, that you have some picky eaters, what would be some suggestions that you might have for our viewers?
Um, get them involved with the cooking, or at least picking out the recipes, because they're going to pick out something that they think they're going to like. And my kids have to at least try it. They might not like it, but they have to at least try it.
Yep.
I'm not sure. I guess every family is different how they're going to get their people to want to do it. But since I do most of the cooking, I get to decide what they eat.
Yep. Yep. But that's great. You're so right in getting the kids involved, because I think it makes them, um, you know, you're giving them a diet change, something that they're not used to. And so for some children, I think that might make them feel a little bit out of control, even though mom and dad know best and they know this is the better way to eat. I think you're spot on getting them involved and picking the things out. And like with the birthday cakes and things like that, it gives them back a little more control over what they're eating, but yet you and your husband are still in the ultimate control. So it's kind of
Right.
like letting them make some of those decisions. And to me, I think, and probably to you too, it just it makes it gives the kids makes them more interested in wanting to be a part of it instead of feeling like they're just having to do it because they live under your roof.
Right. Right.
So I think that was all my questions. How do you see going forward? I mean, you see this as a long-term lifestyle and not just a quick like weight loss thing, right? So how do you see going forward, school year, things like that? What are you kind of seeing there?
Well, I'm hoping I can find lunchbox suggestions for when the kids take cold lunch. Um, you know, I don't want to take away the whole treat aspect altogether because we shouldn't take everything out of the diet. But they have
Right.
to understand that they can't have a treat every time they have. Just because they take cold lunch doesn't mean they have to have a treat with that. And I think this lifestyle change is gonna be good
Yep.
for us. And if I don't think of it as a diet, diet, like I said one time, diets just they pull me down. They make me feel like I'm
Right.
not getting what I crave. But I so far I have not had that
Yep.
issue with the low carb, high fat diet lifestyle. I call it a diet,
That's
but it's a
great.
lifestyle.
Yep. It is. You know, and it's so funny. I think we get hung up our word diet has been twisted to really a diet is just what you eat. It does not mean
Right,
to I'm going on a diet to lose weight. Well, a diet, you could have a fast food diet, you could have a junk food diet, you have a low carb diet, you have a pasta diet, whatever. It's just the way that you eat, but
right,
we get so it's been twisted and manipulated. So yeah, like I'll either say a way of life or a way of eating. This is our way of eating, and it's for the rest of our life, because we know when we kind of go off, we start feeling pretty icky. Um, and that knowing that you're looking for some cold lunchbox ideas will help me because there's quite a few sites that have those kind of ideas. So I'll make sure that I get them to you, and then also post them on the blog. So that'll
awesome,
be really helpful. So yeah, so that'll be great. Well,
right.
I want to thank you for your time today. And I know you're busy and have to get back to the kids, but thank you for taking the time out of your day. Is there anything you want to add before we say our goodbyes?
If you haven't tried the low carb, healthy fat diet way of life, you should try it just to give it 2 weeks and see what you like about it. And if you don't like it, you can always go back to the same way you were eating.
Exactly, right. And the Diet Doctor 2 week challenge would be a good way to give that a try, right?
Right. That was
Yeah.
awesome.
All right. Well, thank you, Laura. And I will be seeing you in Arizona next week. Looking forward to that. So,
Yeah.
all
See you.
right. And then I'll obviously see you online. So, thank you so much. And you have a great rest of your afternoon.
Thanks, you too, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks, Laura. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.